Guys, welcome to today's video where I'm taking it all the way back to my very first GX470 video in June of 2020, where I fixed the common transfer case actuator leak issue.
I don't know what the actual oil seal is supposed to look like, but this one appears to be, fine. No issues, it's bouncing back to where it was. Now, I have a couple on order. So if this doesn't fix the issue, then I can always just slam a new one in. But I like to go by the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So yeah, let's keep going.
So after years of this fix being successful, I noticed it started leaking again, this time out of the breather port and not around the O-ring that we replaced before, and that my transfer case fluid was starting to get low for some reason. So I knew that I had to take the transfer case actuator back out and see what the heck was going on. Another symptom I noticed is that the center differential locker function would only work after rolling back and forth for like 2 to 5 minutes. It was no longer engaging smoothly like it was right after I fixed the transfer case actuator leak last time. Start by taking out the 3 bolts that hold the transfer case actuator in place after unplugging the connector there, as well as the breather hose. Then work it back and forth, as I'll show here, while pulling it out of place. Alright, left didn't work. We're at the point where it came out and stopped. Let's see if I can finagle it out. All right, see how much oil's in here. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, that seal's bad. Oh guys, oil is just pouring out of here. Differential oil. Okay, well, O-ring looks like it's in place, so hopefully I won't have to mess with that. But yeah, the shaft seal is toast. That is a lot of sauce. Still engaged somehow though. I don't know how that works. Wow. Okay, I'll let that drain for a bit and move on. After cleaning up the actuator enough to where I could handle it without getting completely filthy and letting it drain for another 20 minutes at all sorts of different angles and just making sure everything got out of there that I could get out of there, I moved on to the next step, which was cleaning out the electrical contacts with compressed air. I'm throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at this to try to degrease it as much as possible because it was leaking for a few months while I was putting off this repair. And I don't know why I went with this rusty nail to pull out the seal. Maybe it was because I couldn't find the flathead within 5 seconds of searching around and I found this thing on the floor. I was tired at this point and kind of just wanted to get the job over with.
Maybe rusty nail isn't the best choice.
Lots of excuses to say that don't use a rusty nail, just get yourself a nice small flathead screwdriver to get the seal out. Wow, totally shot. Jeez. Rough. Oh well, let's just clean out this old thing and new one in there. Let's get those new ones in there. All right. Okay, let's see how difficult this is gonna be. Not bad. Just need to kind of press it in a bit. Evenly.
That looks good. Not difficult at all to press in. Looks like it's all the way there. Okay. Get a little bit of oil on there. I mean, let's see how much tighter this one is. Yeah, it's probably gonna seal a lot better, I'd say. Other one is gnarly.
I actually found another piece that was stuck on the shaft. So apparently this guy had disconnected itself from the shaft seal and was basically not doing anything. That's like the spring piece that's supposed to push the seal onto the shaft. So yeah, total and complete failure in this one. Let's continue the job by putting the transfer case actuator back in place. To do that, we're gonna move the breather hose as well as that connector out of the way, while we put the selector shaft back into the same hole that we removed it from. So do that very gently, being careful not to disturb the seal. There are gear teeth kind of things on the shaft, so you don't want to rip up the seal while you're putting it in, so be very careful. And then once you get it to where it's supposed to mate up with the transfer case, just take your time and make sure you get that O-ring in there smooth. I actually was unsuccessful with that the first time going through, and as you can see, I took it out, put it back in a couple times, but just work it back and forth and you should be able to see it better because you won't have these huge RCI skid plates in your way. I thought I had it right here, so I started putting the bolts back in, but then as I thought about it, I realized I didn't really hear that positive engagement that I heard last time and thought better of it and just went ahead and ripped out those bolts again and tried to get it sealed properly in there. As you can see, I'm kind of frantically taking those bolts out to try to see what I did wrong. And then I started to kind of try to get it to engage properly again. So here is me doing that. And it did involve a bit of extra force toward the front of the vehicle.
There we go. Now it's in.
After I heard and felt that engagement click, I was confident that everything was in properly now and went ahead and fully tightened in the transfer case actuator bolts. Now, all you need to do is put that breather hose back onto that breather nipple on the top of the actuator, just like this right there, and then plug in your newly air cleaned connector and you're all done.
What? Okay, it already went in before I could even roll around. Yes, fixed. Wow, cool. Okay, let's see if it turns off faster. Wow, it's like instantaneous now. Oh, I'm really excited about that. Yes, that is cool.
So after I confirmed that the issue was fixed and that the transfer case actuator was working as designed now, I needed to top up the fluid because all of that fluid that came out of the transfer case actuator came from the transfer case, which itself needs that fluid level to be up to the specified range. So just take out that fill plug, top off the fluid until the diff fluid starts pouring out, and then reinstall the fill plug by hand and torque it down to, I think it's 27, 28 foot-pounds.
Oh, man. What a pain in the ass.
Now that everything's done and back in place, it's time to get a proper undercarriage degrease. And that's why I got the Super Clean Tough Task Cleaner Degreaser. This spray is awesome and I can tell you that it really works. It's super nice as well that it comes in an aerosol can, so you can just kind of point and shoot under there and coat everything that has oil on it or grease in a white foam. And look at how effective that is. It's already bringing all of that grease grease that even the brake clean couldn't clean to the surface, and it's dripping off of the vehicle. Now, I also got some grease on the gas tank since that's right behind the actuator and it was leaking on there, so I'm hitting that as well. And you don't want to let this stuff dry on there. It is intense, so definitely wash it off after you're done with it. But once it is washed off, everything is nice and degreased under there. There's no more residue from all that dripping and leaking. And my third locker now works almost instantaneously. Not quite as quick as the air lockers that I have, but for an electronic locker, it works just as designed. And I'm ready for some more intense off-road adventures. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I can't wait to show you all the off-road footage I got after fixing my transfer case actuator. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it, and we'll see you in the next video.